Today I got a fish that was so big it didn't even fit in my net. And what's funny is that on the way to this lake I was honestly pretty disappointed with the weather because it was sunny. Historically I don't catch a lot of fish in that kind of weather, and I was really bummed. I didn't think it was going to be very good. But sometimes when you show up, even if the weather or the conditions aren't perfect, so do the fish. Thank you. Now today was the exception to the rule. Normally I'll catch a few fish here and there, but today was something very, very different. The nice thing about cycling through almost 60 fish in one day is that sometimes you get to see how big some of those fish are that are swimming underneath your boat. And this one was by far the biggest I had ever landed in my entire life.
Oh my God, this was huge. The right arm, yeah. This is the biggest one I've ever seen in the lake here. Yeah, he's huge. This is the biggest fish I've ever seen in here. Why would you say that right now? Yeah, this is like substantially bigger than anything. That's, wow, this one's huge. Oh my God, it's the size of a steelhead.
I was also able to catch some underwater eats, and if you've ever been fly fishing for trout, you know that this is almost impossible to get. Trout are really spooky and they don't like sudden movements, so getting a camera that's floating right in front of their face, not so attractive to the fish. Then there was a time that the streamer bite was so hot, and I was lucky enough to capture a glimpse in time with my slow motion camera. There's something about capturing these moments in slow motion that I always love. I've always liked this part of filmmaking and fly fishing, and combining the two has been a big passion of mine for years. A lot of my friends are asking me, like, why would you post videos of your favorite places to fish? Aren't you worried about other people coming there and catching them and plugging up your holes so that you can't even catch any fish? And the answer is, well, there could be. Just because I caught a lot of fish in this one spot this one day doesn't mean that the next day anybody's going to catch anything here. The more I fish, the more I realize that every single day of fishing is different, and it's very difficult to predict what it's going to be like day to day. And I've learned to just show up and fish regardless of the weather, regardless of the conditions. If one spot gets too crowded, you just simply move on. Find another spot and be flexible. That's why it looks like I catch so many fish. It's not the fact that I'm actually really skilled or really smart at fishing. I just keep trying, I'm persistent, and I try new things all the time. If I'm not catching a fish in 10 minutes, I'll switch up my line, my leader, my depth, my indicator, or eventually my fly.
There were some until I spooked them out. No, you got a ton in that shadow area. Plus, these are little. Not huge.
So if you're a fly fisherman and you're watching this, don't get too hung up on like, well, this spot normally catches a lot of fish, and for some reason today this isn't catching a lot of fish in this area. Just move on and move around, especially in a lake, you need to move around. Today they are here, tomorrow maybe they're somewhere else. This spot, for example, in this lake, I have never caught a single fish, and today I probably landed about 60 in the one spot. I didn't even have to move anywhere else. Also, what fly I'm using can make a huge difference, and the difference between one person's fly and mine could make the difference between me catching a lot of fish or you catching very little, or you catching a lot of fish and me catching absolutely nothing. But I like to share this information, especially with people online, because if somebody can catch more fish because of me, because of my channel, meeting me in person, doesn't really matter, that's great.
This is the biggest fish I've ever seen. Size.
Another great thing about a day like today is that you get to test out your gear, especially your fly rods. How do they handle in the wind? How do they handle in the sun? How do they handle catching big fish, landing big fish? Flies, same thing. Which flies work? You'll find that my fly box is just absolutely stacked with flies that have worked in the past. So if I have a fly that works, I'll go home, I'll tie up a dozen, and slowly over time what's happened is that fly box has condensed into only the flies that work. I'll have rows and rows and rows of the ones that have worked, and slowly over time the ones that haven't worked very well just get slowly filtered out of the box.
Didn't fight at all. I do too. I wish it was bigger.
You know what? It's easier to maneuver.
Yeah, it's easier to fit in the garage too. I think I got like 1 foot of space more in the garage, so. Hey, thank you. You too. Not that far of a drive for you though.
Well, this has been definitely one of the best fly fishing days of my entire life. Hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I did fishing. Do not forget to subscribe, hit that button, and I will see you on the next video.